So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto the channel. So as always, starting off with the match stats. So this game was one of the toughest games that we've played so far. One Day are a team that's ranked 4th globally in Pro Club, so you know, a very tough opposition to go for. But again, we're not playing 11 versus 11 as yet, full team capacity. I do think that we could beat them and pip them, especially if we got a full 11. But yeah, with the team that we had, my god, man, we got fully dominated. We got baptized. We only had 38% possession. We had one shot against their 7 shots overall. You know, we did lose just 1-0 on the last minute. It was a free kick that we conceded and they scored. But overall, you know, defensively, I had an okay game. You know, it's always hard playing with like AIs at the back. Especially against like a team as One Day. So I did do the best that I can. But again, I do want to get a consistent centre back or defensive partnership. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can. And for sure, we could beat these guys in the near future. So again, they are ranked 4th globally, and we're around 45th. So no, GG's to them. But with my stats, you know, 7.7 match rating overall. I was the best rated player within the team, within my team, let's say. You know, I had 9 possession ones and then 1 possession lost as a centre back. Made 2 tackles, but 50% accuracy on that. So, you know, I'm glad that in general I played well. I think it's just disappointing that we couldn't control the ball as much, you know, in the midfield position. We were trying this formation, which was completely, you know, hard for us because it was more playing on the wide side of things. Centre mid was just one lone warrior, Cordy, so it was a bit hard for him to control and, you know, get the team members to be able to be positioned in a way that he could pass to them. And again, our passing wasn't great. You know, the way that they were pressing was on another level. But no, I think it's just always going to be going up from here. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we could maintain a good, positive gameplay after this, and you know we do well. But no, enjoy the game, guys. You know, this is a good match, but again, it was a very challenging match on our side. We were fully dominated, to be honest with you. But you know, I did as well as I could for this game. So enjoy. But yeah, so again, what we're going to be talking about is around like the Nations League. And my prediction yesterday for the England versus Germany game. So Germany were playing at home. You know, I honestly thought, same with the France game, you know, the lineups for these big clubs would have been a bit more consistent. But I completely understand, you know, that there's been so much congestion and so much, let's say, games that every single team has played this season, especially not having a full break as such. You know, we would have had the World Cup around this summertime, so teams would have been preparing for that. But now we've got this, you know, overhyped friendly that everyone says. You know, I completely agree. Nations League is an overhyped friendly. You know, it should have just stayed as the Euros as well as the World Cup. And even like, you know, FIFA's looking at changing the years that they're trying to do, the regularity of the World Cup as well. Instead of every 4 years, they're looking at 2 years. So it's all about the money. Like, it's always been about the money. Same with like the Super Cup and all that crap as well. So it's always going to be something about money for FIFA, especially as we know with this World Cup being held now in Qatar. So, you know, let's see. So the way that even I've been predicting, I'm like, okay, they're going to be playing their full teams. But of course, a lot of the teams aren't playing their full teams. We saw with France making like, I think 9 or 10 complete changes to their first team lineup. You know, we did see the same with Germany. The only first team players that they kept on in the starting lineup, which was Neuer. They had Rudiger in defense. They had Kimmich as well as Müller, and that was the only changes that they kept on from the Italy game. Everyone else was, let's say, completely new into the first team. You know, we had Musiala, fantastic player. You know, youth player. You know, he was playing with the England youth team in his earlier days, but then he transitioned to the international stage for the German side. So I'm glad that we've got him. You know, I don't know if anyone watched the game yesterday, but the way that he was playing, you know, very good pressing football, strong on the ball as well. Dribbling is insane. You know, fantastic player. So it's just unfortunate that, you know, England did lose him for Germany, but I'm glad that we got him. You know, he's one for the future. He reminds me a little like Ozil with the way that he likes to dribble around, but his pressurizing is on another level, man. He's a good player, so I'm glad that he's playing. Neuer, talking about Neuer, you know, man, he is a goat, man. Like, the sweeper keeper of all sweeper keepers. Like, whenever he retires, there should be a statue built, man, or wherever, man. Like, he is hands down one of the best goalkeepers in the generation that has changed the gameplay of the goalkeepers, you know. And now we see a lot of the times, like, you know, passing backs, you know, coming out across the line, such as like Alisson, Edison. You know, the whole transition of the goalkeepers have changed because of Neuer. So, you know, a fantastic goalkeeper. And again, he's at that age where he's very old, but again we saw it with the likes of Buffon, who also over the age of like 35, 36, that he was still at his prime for Juve. So Neuer, for example, is still first team for Bayern Munich as well as Germany, and no wonder he's still first team. He is a fantastic shot stopper. It was just unfortunate that it was a penalty first of all, which was unfortunate. It should have been offside initially, and then it was a lenient, I feel, penalty because he wouldn't have gotten the ball. If you know the little clip that was done by the German player to Kane, and then he hit his own leg. But when you see the pace that the ball's going through and his right leg that was clipped, he would not have made that ball regardless. It would have gone past him if you look at it. And the referee slowed it down. Man, even I was looking at VAR and looking at it. I was like, this shouldn't have been a penalty. So, nah, that was a stupid call. I think the ref was just messing around the entire game as well, man. Like, he was useless, but we'll talk about that soon. But no, talking about Neuer the GOAT, you know, fantastic player. His distribution of the passing is just absolutely insane. If it's the right leg, if it's the left kick, wherever it is, he's always... It's pinpointed accuracy he's got with those balls that he's doing across to his German team members. And then, of course, his shot stopping. You know, Kane had a fantastic opportunity, which... with any goalkeeper, it would have been a goal, but Neuer somehow made a fantastic save, and it just deflected out so close away from, let's say, the crossbar. So, again, a huge player for Germany, and same with Rudiger as well. You know, he's now moving over to Real Madrid, but his calm attributes that he's got at the back and his defensive qualities is just absolutely insane. And then, of course, you got the main man, Kimmich, who was the man of the match, who I feel was man of the match for the game. You know, he had a fantastic game against Italy. You know, he's been fantastic for Bayern Munich all season and over the past couple of seasons as well. You know, a great central defensive midfielder, or midfielder in general, that could also operate on the right back position. But such a good player, man. I'm glad that he was kept on with Gundogan, but Gundogan didn't really have a good game for Germany yesterday. But Kimmich is just on another level, man. Like, he's a GOAT, man. He is an absolute GOAT. And then you got Müller, who I'm glad that is back in the international fold for Germany, because as we know, you know, Joachim Löw, he changed around, you know, the team itself for Germany. He was trying to get away from the whole Bayern Munich domination of the team as well as the older players. You know, he did say, look, we want to focus on the younger generation, which, don't get me wrong, is a good thing, but you still need those leaders in the team. So I'm glad that Müller is back. You know, his work rate is just absolutely insane. He reminds you of like a Dirk Kuyt for Liverpool, especially around like his engine, you know, philosophy that he just doesn't want to stop. But he's just such a smart player. Like, he knows how to position himself with the ball, getting in front of the balls, and just, you know, holding up play wherever possible. So, you know, a fantastic player for Germany. But again, Germany did not play their first team as such. You know, compared to the lineup that England had, England's lineup against Germany was a very much solid England side. You had Walker, you had Jones, you had Maguire, you even had Trippier on the left. But it's a weird situation with England. I don't know why they didn't get like a proper left-footed left back. But yeah, Trippier is still a good player. You know, we did see what he's done with Newcastle for the short term that he's been there. Same with Atletico Madrid. And then, of course, I knew that we were going to go, England were going to go for like Rice as well as Phillips and more experienced centre midfield positions. Sterling, I knew he was going to play, but a useless man. Loves to dive around and just, I don't know, he needs meat, man. He's got no protein on him. And then, of course, main man Kane, our deep, you know, English forward, and then you got Saka as well. So overall, when you look at the lineups face to face, England had the best team, but when you look at the stats, Germany were completely dominating with like possession. They had 62% possession. First half was just completely Germany. Same with majority of the second half. It was just when England made some changes, like Bellingham. He had Grealish and on, as well as Bowen. You know, Grealish did create some chances for Kane. One of those chances was the one that was saved by Neuer. So I think the latter, like the last couple of minutes for England itself, it was more of an attacking gameplay for them. But no, I'm glad that Germany, you know, they played some very beautiful football. They should have scored more than one. You know, I think it's promising football from them, you know, regardless for their A team or B team. You know, we did play against both Italy as well as England. Two of the hardest, let's say, teams as such within this group of death. But don't get me wrong, Hungary aren't so bad itself. You know, they beat England. They did score a goal against Italy. But I can't find any highlights on YouTube, man. It's so useless with like these Nations League highlights. So I was trying to find out and see how the match went for Italy versus Hungary. Because Barella's a fantastic player for Inter. And he's potentially got the opportunity to maybe sign away from Inter Milan. And again, a young player. So I wanted to see how the game went. But I was watching this highlight of this extended highlight, supposedly on YouTube, for Italy versus Hungary. And I'm watching like 5 minutes of it. And I'm like, damn, this is actually a good game. And then what happens for the next 6 minutes is this man that, you know, created this video, he just puts like an ocean. And that's it. It's just for 6 minutes straight after that. It's just the ocean. And it was quite beautiful, don't get me wrong. But I want to see the game in it. But that's something that's been a bit disappointing with like the likes of like, you know, the Nations League not showing like highlights in general for each of the games. I like, you know, when BT Sport or even like Sky Sports, they tend to like get the highlights up and going within like an hour and an hour and a half of when the game has been completed. So no, just disappointed that we don't have other highlights of the games to watch as well. But no. And then just moving on as well, just in terms of like what games are going to be playing on today. So we've got Belgium versus Poland, as well as Wales versus Netherlands. Again, two key matches which I feel are going to be important for today. So I do feel within my prediction, you know, I do feel that it's going to be an over 2.5 goals from Belgium. I think it's going to be a high-scoring match for Belgium. I do think it's going to be maybe 4-1. I do think that they will concede a goal, especially with Lewandowski, but it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be 4-1. Again, I don't know what the lineups are going to be. These guys just love to like completely change the selections of what I think is going to be the lineup. So let's see. But then Wales and Netherlands is also another game. I do think that Netherlands will be winning this Nations League whenever it will happen. They've just been on another level, man. They've got a very strong team in general. So I do see this game being 3-1. I do see Wales scoring, surprisingly. You know, they didn't play overly well against Wales, but they did have some fantastic opportunities against Ukraine. Ukraine overall. So Wales, I do see them hopefully getting a goal, but you know, you don't have Van Dijk playing. I don't think he will be playing, especially with the demanding season he had. So they're going to be going with Timber, who has been, let's say, rumoured to be bought or being, let's say, sold over to Manchester United, to his old boss, who's moved over. So that'll be an interesting centre-back partnership to see how that works through. I haven't actually seen like his full highlights properly, Timber, so that might be a game I want to watch just to see how he is as a player, because on Football Manager and all these games, he's always come across as a wonder kid. So let's see about that. But yeah, guys, it's coming to the end of the video. I had like transfers to talk about, but I didn't realise I was going to go so much about, you know, the Nations League Germany versus England match. So no, so yeah, I do appreciate you guys as always, you know, staying up until this end of the video. You know, thank you so much to those that are new. Please do feel to subscribe as well as comment and like this, let's say, video. And those that are oldies and goldies, thank you so much again for all your support. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video, and hopefully my predictions for these games go correct. But yeah, and also, you know, check out my TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube Shorts as well. I'm posting a lot of these small little clip highlights of these games, of my best defensive, let's say, performances of those specific games I'm uploading. So yeah, catch those on Captain America. Take care, guys, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace and hair grease. Bye.
Circumstances. And a goal! This is why we adore this game. Late drama. And there goes the final whistle.